We are in deep, the deep, the thick of WNBA playoffs. But I'm not here to talk to y'all about that. Tomorrow we pod in at 8 p.m. We switch days through the playoffs. So Mondays podcast. We gonna talk about basketball tomorrow. Okay. Everything we don't get to it, I'm gonna say right now. I was gonna say that I'll elaborate on Thursday, but I probably won't do that. I'm not gonna do that. I don't know. I can't say that right now. I got things to do this weekend. Anyway, what I'm actually here for is as it's quarter three. You know, quarter three just ended, and that means we only have 3 more months till the year ends. And last year I did 10 before the end of the year, so 10 books that I want to read before the year ends. And it was actually it was actually, I actually really enjoyed having a set of books to just read. Um, I consider myself a mood reader, so oftentimes I'm just like picking stuff up and whatever, whatever. But actually having structure to what I was gonna read was very nice. And it's cool and fun to have an ever-ending TBR, but to have a TBR, I can just look at it and be like, okay, I'm done with this one. This is where I'm going next. I dig that. I dig that a lot. I don't think it's something I could do all year, but having a focus for the end of the year, I'm loving that. I'm loving that idea. And I'm currently at 44 books for the year. I've already read 44 books this year. I'm reading one. I'm in the midst of one right now. Make Me a Monster by Kaylin Barron. This is my first Kaylin Barron book. Um, and it's a horror. I don't do horror. Like that's not. I don't really do horror. Not at all. Um, but Kayla got me. Kayla got me. I Kaylin. Kaylin got me. Um, like high key. I might highest of keys. Um, I would have read that book probably in one day if I didn't stop to watch basketball. Well, not one day, but like I probably would have finished the book today. Um, if I didn't stop to watch basketball. I'm at 70% in. I've been reading it. Um, I'm a part of a book tour right now for the book. I think it came out a couple of weeks ago. Um, but anyway, I just I don't know. I've spent this weekend reading it, and it's kind of been a joy. It's crazy because I am genuinely scared. I started the book. What day was that? The 25th. Thursday night. Okay, I got into bed. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just lay down and read. I was so scared. I had to like, hey, um, oh yes, Ace's person, but that's so funny. Shout out to Fever. Anyway, that distracted me. I started reading on Thursday night, and the book started off so scary, bro. I had to like watch like I can tell y'all what I watched to, you know, chill myself out. But I had to watch a little TV because I was like, girl, I'm scared. Um, and I still didn't learn my lesson because the past 2 nights I've done the same thing of just like open it, reading it, and then be like, okay, girl, you a little scared right now. So yeah. But anyway, I'm excited about that book. What I'm actually here to do is my 10 before the end, and already picked out my 10. I have 10, and a possible. Well, two possibles, and we'll get to those. Um, I don't know why I'm showing you all that. I can just go through them. Okay, my two possibles. Okay. First up is Tar Baby by Toni Morrison. I'm reading this with my book club now. Actually, I was supposed to start reading it, read the first like 40 pages by next Tuesday. I think I probably won't start this until next week, to be honest. I don't know if I'm gonna have all of it read, but it's okay. We go to book club even if you don't read. Um, if you learn anything else from me, go to book club even if you don't read because you're there for the camaraderie, the vibes, to learn about the book. So yeah, Tar Baby. Also, y'all know I'm trying to get through Toni Morrison's entire collection, and so I think Tar Baby would be my. I've read Sula. I've read Bluest Eye. I've read Beloved. Um, so this will be my fourth one. Yeah, this will be fourth. So, um, excited for that. I'm so I love reading Toni Morrison with book club with friends because sometimes Toni be doing a lot, but I have to stick beside her. Okay. So then we got um We Still Here, Marc Lamont Hill, and the foreword by Kianna Yamada Taylor, who I love. She's so brilliant. Um, so brilliant. And this one's pretty short. Let me see how many pages it is. 117. 117. Pretty much about like it says pandemic policing, protests, and possibility, but it's pretty much like about abolition and just kind of how we got to this point. Um, and I've been meaning to read this one for a while. Also, really, I have some critiques about Marc Lamont Hill, mostly because of him being on Joe Budden podcast. I get it, but I don't anyway. But he sent me this book. He sent me in my book club this book for free, so I always have to respect him. Um, and I got this book like 4 years ago, so I just feel like I have no excuse for not having read it by now. Okay, so that's that. That's two. Number three is James Baldwin's Go Tell It on the Mountain. This book was actually a part of my last year's 10 Before the End that I just didn't get to. Which is fine. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. It's fine. James Baldwin is another author I love, and another author whose catalog I want to get through. My favorite book by him is If Beale Street Could Talk. I don't think I've ever watched. I read a book, cried, watched the movie, and cried again. Like that's just how powerful that book is. It'll always be one of my all-time fave. I'm actually considering next year rereading the book. But yeah, Go Tell It on a Mountain is another novel. This one is about Baldwin chronicles a 14-year-old's discovery one Saturday in March 1935 of the terms of his identity as the stepson of a minister of a storefront Pentecostal church in Harlem. Baldwin's rendering of his protagonist's spiritual, sexual, and moral struggle of self-invention opened new possibilities in the American language and in the way Americans understand themselves. Why not? Okay. The fourth book is Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Q Sutanto. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name wrong. Sorry to this woman. But this, I'm pretty sure, is another one of those cozy mysteries. I do love a cozy mystery. This year I read. Did I read Mia P. Mansalas, Adobo and Arsenic? I don't think I read that this year, but it's the same kind of vibe. The back of this one says, when Madeline Shan ends up accidentally killing her blind date, her meddlesome mother calls for her even more meddlesome aunties to help get rid of the body. Unfortunately, a dead body proves to be a lot more challenging to dispose of than one might anticipate, especially when it inadvertently shipped in a cake cooler to the over-the-top billionaire wedding. That's so funny. Okay, this is super funny. Sorry, that's funny. It's the biggest job yet for the family wedding business. Don't leave your big day to chance, leave it to the chance. And nothing, not even as unsavory as a corpse, will get in the way of her auntie's perfect buttercream flowers. So, yeah, and I'm pretty sure this is a series. Like, the aunties be doing a lot. And, I do love a cozy mystery with some meddling grannies. So, we're on that. We're on that. The next one is Can't Let Her Go by Kianna Alexander. Queer romance. I've been really into the sapphic romances lately, and this is no different. I think I got this book last year. Apparently, it's a friends to lovers. Love that. And so yeah, I don't know. As you can tell, a lot of these books I don't even really know what they're about. I see them on my I bought them. I see them on my shelf. I'm like, this is what's calling me. So I've been wanting to read this for a while. And look how cute this cover is. Come on, come on. Next, similar vein of Marc Lamont Hill's book is We Do This Till We Free Us by Mariame Kaba. She's supposed to be like the OG like abolitionist like thought, like of abolitionist thought. So another short one, another not even 200 pages. And here are some of the chapter. I think this is like a collection of essays. The other one is the Marc Lamont Hill book is a collection of essays. But here's some of the things that she talks about, or her section titles. Her part one is called "So You're Thinking About Becoming Abolitionist." Excuse me. Her part two is called "There Are No Perfect Victims." Ooh, I know that's gonna eat. I know that's gonna eat. Um, Part three is called "The State Can't Give Us Transformative Justice." Period. We knew that. Part four is making demands, reforms for and against abolition. I do love challenging your own thoughts. I love that. Part five is we must practice and experiment abolitionist organizing in theory. Very brief side note to that. There is a group called, oh my God, Respire Media, and they've done this project called 100. I can't remember what the project is called, but basically the idea is that, like, one of the main tenets of abolition is that you have to like reimagine how you're going to do things, because there's no one size fits all approach to the things that we're experiencing in real life, right? So one of the things that Respire Media does is the project was they went around to different cities and they listened to how different communities were tackling different issues. And I remember watching one of their films, and they did one based in Chicago, and it was basically a daycare center, like how the community built. I don't want to say they built a daycare, but basically how they dealt with the fact that like childcare is an important part of community and people being able to work and all that kind of stuff. And so this is how they tackled that issue. Super interesting thing. I'm sure that is a part of that. So if you thinking about, you know, the experiments and all that, look up Respire Media on Instagram for sure. They probably have a YouTube too. Anyway, part six is accountability is not punishment. Ooh, a word. Transforming how we deal with harm and violence. Yeah. I already know this book is about to be a 10. I already feel it. I feel it in my spirit. And the last part is called Show Up and Don't Travel Alone. We Need Each Other. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a 10. I just know. I know. So this we'll get to this one. What book number is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 7 is Feminism is for Everybody, Passionate Politics by Bell Hooks. Another short one. You know, my goal this year was, I'm kind of squeezing all of these in this year because my goal every year is to read 12 nonfiction books. I always want to keep myself balanced. I love fiction, and I think fiction is very important for everybody to read. Did it again. Fiction is important for everybody to read. Y'all need to read fiction. Stop just reading self-help, okay? I'm not gonna get on my soapbox about that. But I always want to read nonfiction because, you know, you get feminist texts, you get essays, you get memoirs, and I think you can learn so much about the world through how other people view it, and just like the theory. We gotta read the theory, guys. I mean, Asada Shakur, rest in peace, has already said without theory and struggle go together. So we need them to go together. Okay. And so feminist text. I love a good feminist text. This one is only 120 pages. And I'm sure it won't be as difficult to read. If y'all been following me for a long time, you know it took me like a year and a half to actually finish All About Love. I don't think I'll have the same problem with this one. But we will get to it. We got to finish Bell Hooks' collection as well. Next is Homemade Love, J. California Cooper. J. California Cooper is actually why my screen name it's a Pizza J. J. California Cooper has a collection of short stories called A Piece of Mind, and so she inspired me, and I love those. I love those short stories. Just J. California Cooper's voice is so like nostalgic to me, and always very hopeful. Always very hopeful, and so she's another author whose collections that I'm trying to get through. This will be my second book. I mean, not my second book. This will be my third book from her. I already read A Piece of Mind and Family. I have this one, and I can't remember what other book. Oh, The Family's Future. I think that's what it's called. I have that one downstairs too. But it should be another like really quick read, 175 pages. I also think this is a collection of essays as well. I mean, not essays, short stories. Why do I keep saying essays? But yeah, you can see her works: A Piece of Mind, Some Soul to Keep, Family, and A Matter's Life, In Search of Satisfaction, Some Love, Some Pain, Sometime in the Wake of Wild. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. I need to actually go out and buy the rest of it. But yeah, excited for her short stories. Love her work. Next is Marsha P. Johnson, the icon. Marsha, the Joy and Defiance of Marsha P. Johnson by Tourmaline. I don't know how to pronounce this person's name. I need to look it up. But in the vein of learning your history, learning queer history, honoring the people you've come before us, you gotta respect Marsha P. Johnson and all the work that she's done. And this book is really interesting to me because it's obviously like not like a memoir, but Tourmaline has done extensive research about Marsha P. Johnson, and I was really fascinated by like the breakdowns of the chapters. One of the things that I was thinking about recently, especially since Assata Shakur's death, like people carry and have so many titles from who they are as a child to who they are in adulthood, and I really appreciate the chapter titles because they kind of identify who Marsha was in different phases of her life. And so some of them are Jersey Kid, Times Square Hustler, Stonewall Rioter, Star Activist, Performer, AIDS Care Worker, Crossing the River Jordan, and her legacy. So I'm just really excited to know more about her and to just continue to honor her in this way. And my last of my 10 is Necessary Fiction by Eloghosa Osunde. I already started reading this book. I started reading this book a couple months ago, and it has been a beautiful exploration of grief and a beautiful exploration of grief between two queer friends. Not even just friends, it's the guy's entire like friend group and people around him. It's just so beautifully written, but it's kind of heavy in that way, and so I kind of had to put her down for a second. I had to put her down because I feel like I wasn't able to dedicate the time that I really wanted to dedicate to it. And so I now have the audiobook from the library. I have like 4 copies of this book. It's so funny. I now have the audiobook though, and I'm probably going to listen to it. I think I got about 3 or 4 chapters in. Yeah, I don't know if I made it through. So like you can see the contents is a cast of characters. Yeah, it was a lot happening in this book. I don't think I made it through. Yeah, I think I might be like 50 pages in. Anyway, I think I'm on part two. But anyway, so yeah, I definitely am gonna finish this one. I'm gonna listen to it, and that'll be great. So, ooh, Jesus, these are the 10, and I'm actually, I mean, obviously, I just went through all of them, but I'm clearly very excited for all 10. And these are my two possibles. It's my two possibles. Forever. This could be Forever by Ebony LaDelle. This is her second book that came out earlier this year. I love Ebony LaDelle. Love Radio was the cutest book I've ever read. And since then, like, I don't know, Ebony LaDelle, since reading Love Radio, Ebony LaDelle can do no wrong. I actually want to get her other book. It's a collection of short stories about romances at HBCUs. I need that. I need that. So if anybody is hearing me and y'all want to give me another book, go ahead. I mean, I will accept Ebony LaDelle's new book. But yeah, this could be Forever is rom com, another rom com set in. I'm pretty sure this is DC. Ooh. Okay, Deja and Raja are going to University of Maryland, College Park. Love that. Love that. So that's one. The other one is Immortal Dark by Tigist Girma. I think I just got this one on audiobook too. But this one is impossible because uh, another one of the book tour people, one of the book tours email list that I'm a part of, they said book two is coming out in November, okay? And they were like, we need people to obviously promote the book. And so I was like, no, not gonna lie, I signed up for the tour just so I could get the second book. I'm not going to lie. But if they accept me as a part of the tour, I'm gonna read book one, obviously. So, you know, if I could have both books essentially for free because this one was a gift, I mean, who am I to turn that down? Who am I to turn that down? So, yeah, we might read this one if I know I'm gonna get the second one. If I'm not getting the second one, she's going back on the list. She's going back on the wait list. But she is very pretty, and this is another like um, black vampire book. Um, and I just had to have this. Like, look at this, bro. Come on, you just tens across the board, man. Um, so yeah, that's my. Those are my two possibles. Those are my 10. Let me see if I can hold all of them up at once. Okay. Uh, but yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll come back obviously at the start of the year to tell y'all how far I've gotten. I'll probably make some intermediate updates too. Hopefully by the end of October, I would have read at least 3 of them. I would have read at least 3. We'll see. See you guys next time.